He's a very ambiguous figure because he's at the same time a kind of a almost fascist figure. He's basically a kind of a, how do you call it, excessive, a part of the rulers of the matrix, but an excess which autonomized itself so that at the end, the architect, the matrix, have to join hands with workers, humans to combat him. It's like Second World War, where liberal capitalists and communists had to join hands against the fascism. But at the same time, the formula is almost anti-Semitic. It's that we throw the intruder out and we have some kind of a suspicious class peace and so on. It's even at the narrative level, the failure is interesting. How almost half of part 3 is that big battle, you know, those squid robots attacking humanity. It is as if they were not able to develop the story. And I think that the problem is what? That the stakes were raised too high in part 2, socially. Part 2 is for me the crucial one and the best, because all options are open there. You have, on the one hand, hints that even in the Zion City, this under the earth resistance fortress, some of them are too crazy, corrupted. You have hints that some part of the matrix are good. You are left unclear. And then I claim part 3 kicks. Instead of exploiting all these possibilities, it provides a simple, stupid, brutal solution. But again, the problem is that if the matrix were to succeed, it would have been a blessing for all of us, you know. They raised the stakes too much. The successful Matrix trilogy would be a formula what we all should do today. So in a way, the failure was objective. And in a way, I even appreciate this in part 3. That the ending is in a way very pessimistic. It's just a kind of a class truce. Temporary, it's better. What I was afraid was that it would end in some kind of pseudo-Deleuzian celebration of multiplicity, everybody mixing with everybody else. That's what I, in a way, admire in it. And now, since there is left of me a superego gaze, for the time being, I will stop. Thanks very much for your patience.
So everybody's going to have to speak for about kind of 3 minutes. And I'm going to tap on the microphone after things to kind of warm people. You should
do it the way that Ceausescu did it, you know. You should put some national music which gets louder and louder.
Or we could do that.
You know what I'm referring to? When Ceausescu, you know when the crowd interrupted Ceausescu in that revolution, you know? You know how it was reported on Romanian TV? All of a sudden the camera went towards heaven and you have some folkloric dances and so on. Okay, sorry, I'm taking your time, sorry.
And yes, if you'd like to come and use the mic there, that'd be great. Yes, use that and then...
Yeah, but you can use this mic, by God, no?
There's two points, really, 2 questions. The point you made about Simon Critchley and the idea about intimate resistance, would you agree that this is just a kind of repackaging or reformulation of the old post-Althusserian position, which is exemplified by Muth and Laclau in their hegemony and social practice, I think it's called. It came about 1983. The other point, which touches on your reference to Hollywood cinematic narrative and also your idea about hedonism. I think in one of your books, I think it was called Plague of Fantasies, you state a very kind of Lacanian theme, that any kind of explicit, graphic representation of explicit sort of sexual activity would implode the narrative or explode the narrative. I'd very much like to know what you think of recent films like Bazemore and The Pornographer, which do actually show intimate sexual scenes and don't really seem to fall short because of that. They seem to receive quite sort of exciting reviews. So that's sort of 2 things.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Can I just say, so that everybody gets a chance, can I ask you to answer the questions at the end? Would that be all right? Is that not all right?
My silence is spoken, because I thought, to put it in this Heideggerian way. But okay, then let's at least combine 3, not more. No, because it's my senility. I mean, so I will forget. So let's have a couple of them. Not too much. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. If you didn't want to indicate. Okay. You at the back there, and then you. Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
I think, sorry, I mean, I really enjoyed the politics of enjoyment. It was great fun. Yeah, I know, your passion, wonderful. What I wanted to say, I mean, you talk about, you have these different alternatives of this, various, more or less wonderful utopias. My image of a utopia, when I think about it, I think of the role of a revolutionary party in terms of thinking about utopia, is not about this kind of objective, whether you give an objective analysis of the Western working class or an objective analysis of the slum dwellers or whatever else. It's a subjective feeling of actual people in struggle. And the point about, the Marxist analysis of people in struggle isn't that all of a sudden we wonderfully become a unified subject of history. It's that in struggling, we get that, I don't know, in your Lacanian terms, jouissance, that kind of feeling of liberation, that freedom. And the chance of the future's gone. It's just that they were defeated. It's harder these days, but it's getting back. It's getting better again. It's better than it was back in the in the immediate unaffairs during the SWP, just after the bloody miners' strike when it was shite. We have these sorts of defeats. So it's kind of the role of utopia. Utopia kind of emerges through struggle itself. So there's that struggle which these people obviously reflect in various ways. So it emerges through struggle, and the role of socialists, Marxists, whatever else, is to be the memory of the class, remembering those images to see the future possibilities.
Let me I promise I will be fast. Okay, the last one. Yes, I agree with you. I didn't mean to say that objective analysis tells us in the slums, and now we should just watch what happens in the slums and otherwise masturbate and watch hardcore movies or whatever. I was not implying this. I agree with you. The only danger I've seen is that it's the opposite one, I can well imagine a very massive explosion of these sensuous utopias which fit, my first association was Love Parade in Berlin, 1 million people, big utopia, so what? I'm a conservative here, I'm disgusted by it, I mean. They may feel liberated there, but it's, how should I put it, nonetheless, I think that every subjective feeling of liberation and so on, in this sense utopia, it's not a priori. You must nonetheless strike at the right point. So I think. Okay, now, I will go backwards now. I mean, said that I don't have time to do this sex stuff and so on. I know all these movies. I still think that the trend is even already going back. I would now have to go into analysis of what kind of real sex we can do. But still, I think that my old rule holds. Because it's not that you cannot do sex. Again, as I already developed, I think, in the Plague of Fantasies, the true mystery for me and the proof of my point, it's not so much that you cannot have real sex in a serious melodrama or drama where you are supposed to identify. What interests me more is the opposite experience, a hardcore film